So in the opening scene of my video, you see me driving on I-75, and you've seen the Bowling Green football stadium off in the distance. For many people in Michigan and Ohio, that's how they know of Bowling Green, of Deutsch Perry Stadium off on I-75. But today, I'm going to be telling you about Bowling Green soccer. It's a story about a man named Mickey Cochrane and the men and women who built this program up, as well as a really funny story about a pizza delivery that happened right here, not after the game or for a banquet, but in the middle of the game. It's a pretty funny story, something that I've never actually seen on a football pitch before. So I'm going to tell you all about that today as I explore Mickey Cochrane Stadium. This is the stadium that I drove by on I-75, is Deutsch Perry Stadium. No, it's not the soccer stadium. The soccer stadium's over there. But this is Bowling Green, Ohio right here. It is 20 miles southwest of Toledo with a population of about 30,000. And the town was founded in 1832 by a retired postal worker who once delivered mail in Bowling Green, Kentucky, if you ever wondered how it got its name. And the university, Bowling Green State University, BG, it was founded on September 27th, 1910. And its nickname is the Falcons, and its rival is Toledo in most sports, which it is called the Battle of I-75, the highway that connects Toledo and Bowling Green, just about 20 miles. Cochrane Field, or Cochrane Stadium, I'm sorry, here on the campus of Bowling Green, right in the middle of all the other sports parks. You have the softball field off to the right, the tennis courts right there, the baseball field off to the left, the hockey arena over there, football stadium over there, and there's the soccer pitch. So as you can see, it is enclosed, which it was enclosed in 1993, and that scoreboard down there was added in 1994, which actually turned it into a stadium. And the man that it's named after, his name is Mickey Cochrane. He started both the soccer and lacrosse programs here in 1966. He stopped coaching in 1977 and had a 13-year record of 68, 56, and 14. And he was inducted into the Bowling Green State University Athletics Hall of Fame in 1993 and the National Soccer Coaches Association of America in 1995. And the field was named after him in 1980. So a little bit about the men's program here. They first competed in 1965. You can see the football stadium off in the background there. They did used to play in the MAC conference, the Mid-American Conference, but unfortunately it shut down its soccer league, so now they joined up in the Missouri Valley Conference. Their colors are burnt orange and seal brown. You can see the orange right here. Unfortunately, I can't really see any brown anywhere. Maybe the dirt right here. Yeah, so there, the brown right there. They have, as far as their accomplishments go, they have 8 conference regular season championships, including back-to-back in 1991 and 1992. They have 4 conference tournament championships, including that 91 season, as well as 95, 96, 97. So they won 3 conference tournaments in a row between 95, 96, 97, as well as doing the double back in 91, winning the regular season and tournament championships. They have 8 NCAA tournament appearances. They have 3 round of 16 appearances dating back to 72, 73, and 95. So Coach Cochrane got a couple of them in back-to-back years in 72 and 73. And as far as the men's program goes, their main rival is Wright State, unlike most of the other teams here whose rival is Toledo, because Toledo doesn't have a men's program. So their men's rival is called Wright State, and the name of their rivalry is the I-75 Cup. So Bowling Green versus Toledo is the battle for I-75, but Bowling Green versus Wright State is the I-75 Cup, if that makes sense to you guys. All right, now let me read you off some of their tourney appearances. So the first 3 times that they made the NCAA tournament, in 72, 73, and 92, they lost all 3 times to St. Louis University, who actually has the most men's national championships. So no shame in that. They lost 2-0 in 72, 6-0 in 73, and 2-1 in 92. But in the mid-90s, they finally found some success in those 3 conference tournament title winning years that I told you about. So in 95, they finally won their first NCAA tournament game. They beat Davidson in the play-in round 3-1, but then they lost in the next round 2-0 to Wisconsin. The next year in 96, they beat Detroit University in the first round 4-0, but then lost to Indiana in the second round 2-0. And then in 1997, they beat Marquette 1-0 in the first round, but then lost to Indiana again 4-0 in the second round. So the mid-90s looks like they had their most success. They got 3 tournament wins, they won 3 tournament titles, won a double in 91, and then the last couple years in 2000 and 2001, they exited the first round in 2020, 2-1 to Monmouth. But then in 2021, the COVID year, they beat Louisville 1-0 in the first round, but then they lost to Indiana again 2-0 in the second round. So what is that? 3 times they've been knocked out by Indiana, 96, 97, and 2021. So Indiana and St. Louis seems to be Bowling Green's kryptonite. You guys can see the Falcon right there with the BG. Bowling Green, the Falcons, and there's Cochrane Stadium, Mickey Cochrane. Here's a beautiful shot of the stadium. You can see the benches right over there, and Dwight Perry Stadium in the background, the football stadium. Probably is like the landmark on the campus that everybody looks to. Does look beautiful off in the background. I want to tell you guys about a really funny story. You know, I've been watching soccer pretty much my entire life, and I've pretty much seen everything. But this one is the first time I've ever heard something like this. So back in the day, it was in the mid-70s, probably right on these benches right here. In the middle of a game, one of the starters, well, before the game, he called Domino's, and they had Domino's deliver a pizza to a bench warmer by the name of Steve Cutler. He was a player on the team, and he loved pizza. And they had the delivery guy walk right onto the field over here. It was right over here. He walked right onto the field and delivered the pizza right here to the bench. And that was back when Mickey Cochrane was still the coach, and he was not too happy about it. But still, probably one of the funnier stories that I've ever heard. Can you imagine that? Right in the middle of a game right here. Who knows if it was an important game or not. And just some guy in a Domino's hat with his little delivery car comes walking on the field asking for Steve Cutler, and he's got pizza for him. That's probably one of my favorite stories that I've ever heard on a football pitch before. Pizza delivery in the middle of a game. It's the announcer's box where they call the games. The perfect view of the pitch. Let me tell you a little bit about the women here at Bowling Green, some of their accomplishments. So their main rival is Toledo, like everybody else here on campus. They're not like the men. They won championships in 2004, 2005, 2018, 2019, 2020, and twice in 2021 because of, because of the COVID issue. The season had to get rescheduled, so they played 2 seasons in 1 year. So you guys get it. 2004. So let's just go down the list here of all of their seasons. So they've made the tournament 6 times. Unfortunately, they've never actually won a game in the tournament. So their first tournament appearance came back in 2004, and they lost to Ohio State 2-0 in the first round. Their next year came in 2005 when they tied for the most wins in their program's history with 14. They went 14-6-2. They won the MAC championship, but they lost in the first round to MSU 4-0. Then they tied their total wins record in back-to-back years in 2018 and 2019. They won 14 games both years. 2018 they went 14-4-3, but they lost in the first round to Penn State 4-0 again. And in 2019 they went 14-5-3, and they lost to Michigan 2-1. So looks like they lose to the Big Ten opponents every single time. 5 out of their 6 losses have been to Big Ten opponents here. Their 5th loss coming in 2021 when they lost to Michigan again 3-0. And their other game, actually in 2020, the COVID year, they went 6-1, and they took Ole Miss all the way to penalty kicks, where they lost unfortunately 4-3. So 2020, the COVID year, looks like maybe a missed opportunity for the ladies, because like I said, they went 6-1 in conference, and they took Ole Miss all the way to penalties. So 2020 looks like a great year for the women, besides the whole COVID stuff. But hopefully they can achieve more success here in the future, playing in a beautiful stadium like this, right in the middle of all the sports stadiums. I just want to say that I think that that's pretty cool for the men and the women to be the centerpiece. Like I said, right in the middle of all of the sports stadiums. Has to make you feel kind of special and kind of important. Especially when you're getting pizza delivered to, your players during the game. That has to make you feel really special.